Alrighty, welcome everybody. This video today is going to be mainly for those who have awareness or don't have awareness of many changes that are going on right now, and kind of tuning into those, sharing information on those who feel the energy from all of the solar flares, coronal mass ejections, or you may not even be aware of it, that connection. I remember years ago, my spiritual teacher bringing to my awareness that everything is connected and everything has consciousness, and our sun has consciousness. Think about it. If the sun wasn't alive and it burned out, there wouldn't be any life on the planet right now, because the sun sustains all of us earth dwellers. So we have been just getting hammered with C-class, X-class flares, and I'm recording this on late the 26th of February 2023, and we've been just getting pummeled. The sun is waking in this, I want to say it's not waking up, it's spewing out solar flares, and the solar flares, if I'm not mistaken, are the ones that can be within the Earth's atmosphere within minutes. The coronal mass ejections take a little bit of time to get into our atmosphere. When there's a solar flare facing Earth, there's not always coronal mass ejections that take place. And with that, and if you'll excuse me, because I am a little bit scatterbrained, I've been feeling these energies since about 2018. So going back to my spiritual teacher's share on everything having consciousness and everything being connected. And then I read an article today that was explaining that if you think about what's happening within humanity, we've been kind of living asleep for a long time, meaning just busy with our everyday lives, paying bills, working a job, raising families, busy, busy, busy. And over the last couple of years, we've had this uptick in aggression of attack. People, I call them the psychopaths, wanting to keep people in fear while there's an awakening happening. And the consciousness between humanity and the sun is linked. If we really want to think about it, there's a lot of hurts, there's a lot of wounds in humanity, a lot of aggression, a lot of lower vibrations, fear, competition, war with each other, war within yourself. And so we need to release that and become a better humanity. And if you think about it, with the sun in the cycle that it's in and putting off these major solar flares, major coronal mass ejections coming in to our atmosphere, the sun is just reflecting that burst, right? It's a release of energy. We're releasing energy. And so this dance that we have going on is significant. It's powerful. It's transformative. Like I just said to my cousin today, you know, we've been told there's junk DNA. There's no such thing as junk DNA within us. We're coming online. And the more outlandish the psychopaths become, the more it's going to create an awakening within people. And then there's those that are under the brainwashing or mass psychosis of fear, that they will continue to go on that path. So the tangibility of the separation or the split's very, very rampant. I noticed it when I went to the grocery store yesterday. There are those that you're not going to be able to reach. There are those that are going to continue to stay under the thumb of control and manipulation. Those that'll drive in their vehicles for the rest of their lives with a mask on their face. So humanity needs to, the ones that are awakened that are witnessing all of this outlandish stuff and just shaking your head going, when are the zombies going to wake up? There's some that are not going to wake up. So we need to pray for those. We need to be compassionate. We are in Pisces season. That is about compassion. But it's also a time where we have to know our own energy and not absorb the pain. It's very difficult being a person who does have a love of humanity, a love of my life on the earth. And for many of you tuned in, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You just have a compassion and want people to know better and do better. And it starts with knowing thyself, in healing what needs to be healed within you. So I was reflecting before I came on too about the solar cycle that we're in and all these coronal mass ejections. And it is if for those who need scientific proof, when the sun does what it's doing right now currently, which is really super high tonight on the 26th of February, and it's going to continue into tomorrow. It's been happening. What's brewing to the surface is the density within us. And it's just almost like the vibration, like seems like time's going fast. It seems like everything's sped up. And so as we integrate, like I always visualize us on the planet, and then of course Earth's aura or magnetic field around the Earth being the aura. As the sun's coming in, sometimes the aura is down, right? And the geomagnetic storms that come in, the Earth's aura is down and more of it hits, more blast. That seems to be when more of the density and the ascension symptoms is what I call, or integration symptoms from that radiation from the sun is able to get into our bodies as well. So that's a lot of times with the ascension symptoms / integration symptoms, you'll get hot flashes through your body, dizziness, the vision continues to adjust. So you'll go from bloodshot eyes, dry eyes, to all of a sudden your eyes are watering, and it's one day your vision's pretty decent. The next moment, I don't even want to say day because it's been happening and shifting so fast. But then your vision continues to adjust. Sometimes you feel like your vision's a lot blurrier than others. And a lot of people are experiencing the heart chakra, feeling chest under pressure, or a more rapid heart rate, or heart palpitations, or a faster pulse rate. I'm noticing tonight that it's the solar plexus energy, my stomach bloated, gassy, and the ongoing symptoms that keep changing and shifting. It just a matter of what is vibrating in our body, what is dense, what needs to be released and purged. So we're in this continuous letting go and purging, just like the sun's doing with the solar flares and the coronal mass ejections. So it's not a coincidence to me, and it made me think back to what my spiritual teacher taught me years ago of everything having consciousness. So it's not surprising to me, with what we've been witnessing taking place over the past 2.5 years, that the sun is so active as well, because the sun's releasing, the sun's letting go. And the article, as I digress, that I read today was a release of anger, a release. And I don't feel it has to be just anger. I think it has everything to do with releasing the pressure. And I know for me, being a grieving mother, when I cry and I allow that to come, I feel better after that release valve, right? After I get a good cry out. So I just visualize this synchronicity and this ever evolving connection between the as above, so below, and we are a part of that. Some people will just think, oh, you're talking smack. Well, that's fine. You can believe that. I don't believe anybody tuned into my channel believes that, but those that just go about their daily routines and don't think about the connection that we have with everything may or may not feel ascension symptoms, or they may. I'm gonna close the heater vent because this happens every time and we're definitely in it right now, but we are all shifting and changing, whether we're awake or not. But the goal as a human on the earth plane, as a soul, is to evolve, to awaken, to do your work while you're here, to be, to transform and overcome things, to learn our lessons, to find our blessings. And there's always both, right? With the duality of the earth plane. So again, back to the ascension symptoms, a lot of people are hearing, and this changes. Again, I've been feeling these since 2018, and I was totally unaware with what the hell was going on within my body, with my nervous system. And I'm so thankful that I found like-minded people that are like, holy shit, I'm feeling this too, and sharing these symptoms that they're feeling within their body, that they're feeling within their psyche, because then we know that we're not alone. And as my spiritual teacher always said, you're not going crazy, you're just waking up. So again, there's information here, whether you're awake or not. And maybe it's just a little knock on the door to go, whoa, okay, so if the sun burned out right now, I wouldn't be living. And maybe we can find those moments of gratitude to realize, holy shit, I'm a drop in the water to a bigger picture. So I just loved always that my spiritual teacher, and I'm so blessed because he came along on my path when I needed that light, right? And so what my purpose here is to hopefully be a light to others. Perhaps it's somebody that tunes in that's newly awakened or experiencing things in their body and just thinking, holy shit, what's wrong with me? I don't replace any medical help, but I will just say this. I've been all checked out. And I am to the point now on my journey. Like I told you, I've been starting to feel these coronal mass ejections and solar flares within our atmosphere since about 2018. It is now 2023. They have not gotten less. They've actually became more. The sun is more active. And I also want to talk about the different tones that can be happening. Ear ringing, and this shifts and changes over time. You don't know when it's going to be, what it's going to be, but instrumental, like hearing things in your home, that can be instruments playing, the sounds of your appliances, seeming like sometimes your hearing is super sonar and you're hearing everything, and other times feeling like you're muffled or underwater. The underwater part could happen throughout the month of March with it being in Pisces season, because this isn't a water element. I'm also noticing a very active mind, but yet very exhausted. And that's something that's been ongoing, but also shifts and changes as well. Times when you're just feeling very blissful and peaceful, and then other times just feeling like anxiety. And I've said this before many times on my channel about the vagus nerve and toning that, because we are going through so many shifts, so many integrations. So toning every day, chanting, singing, humming is super beneficial for you if you tend to have a little bit of the jittery or anxiousness that comes up. And I know many people are reporting that they're experiencing anxiety when they've never experienced it before. So hot flashes again, and then cold extremities, and then you're hot and you're cold. And I used to blame it on just menopause, and it's not just menopause. So I just want to quickly share on screen a couple of things, because we are in a heightened yellow, as you can see here, KP index. And what that is the amount of energy within our atmosphere that is highly charged. So this is from days prior, coronal mass ejections that are now in our atmosphere. This is going to continue to heighten through tomorrow, which is the 27th of February, 2023. I always say when it's in the green, that's kind of just that normal average of what's happening within our atmosphere. When it goes into the yellows and the reds, then it's like, hold on. And I would not be surprised if we see, while we did have this is a darker yellow. I was looking at on a different website earlier. I stopped using Michael's website because he no longer uses the Schumann. And I'm pretty darn sure there's a reason behind that, because he is the only one that took the solar or the Schumann resonance down off. I will show you this. Spaceweatherlive.com is a wonderful website. Utilize this. I don't know intellectually what all of this means yet, but I am researching it and have been for quite some time. And the reason being, if you start feeling like out of sorts and different symptoms within your body, I'm getting to the point where I can predict these, like incoming. And I do this on my Telegram channel because I feel it in my body. Dizziness, sudden onsets of just feeling like, whoa, what is going on? It's from the sun and what's happening in our atmosphere. So really quick, I'm not going to go through much of this tonight because it's very late. Again, our circadian rhythm can be screwed up, meaning you could be laying down at nighttime and just having a very active, busy mind and exhausted during the day. Some physical things that you can do is meditate, for one. And because my mind is so busy right now, I'm actually even having a hard time doing that. So I'm making myself do it. Magnesium, hydrate. Everybody, whoever tunes in to listen, hydrate. That is so important with all this solar radiation that we are integrating and evolving in, right? We're vibrating faster. We got to keep that water and electrolytes going on within us. Oops, 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 oops. Again, I'm not going to go over a bunch of this, but I will come on and kind of walk through this website. This is the first time I've actually logged into it on my laptop versus my device. Right now, we are in a G1 minor magnetic storm, and this is what causes the auroras. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, if you go outside, I'm not going to see it here because I'm in the lower peninsula, but if I was in the upper peninsula of my state, I would most likely be able to see some badass auroras right now. And that's what the G1, that's what the magnetic storm creates, is the auroras. So that's all particles, right? And all these beautiful reflections of color that happen when we have auroras, and that is from our sun. It's beautiful and it's magnificent. In fact, this website has a gallery where you can go and see different photos that have been uploaded. So like I said, I'm not going to go into a bunch of this tonight because it is late, and I wanted to utilize this to take the time and the opportunity to let you know that you're not alone. If you are feeling different ascension symptoms, this can be vibrations that are throughout your body. I know for me, a lot of times I'll start feeling the vibration through my feet, and it's important to always hydrate and ground. There's some people out there that speculate that because the earth is changes, we shouldn't ground, but I don't think I agree with that, because the whole point of awakening is to stop doing things on autopilot and become present in the body. Breath work, salt baths, beautiful different crystals, going outside, barefoot preferably, because the rubber soles of shoes disconnected us from nature too, and the grounding and the earthing and the benefits of our body. And so, like I said, some people say don't ground right now because the earth is going through changes, and I have to disagree with that. We're going through bodily changes. The earth is too, but we still need to ground because we need to be present in the body. No more checking out, going on autopilot. No more checking out, going through escapism, whether it be social media, alcohol, drugs, food, whatever it is, the great escape. Again, it's Pisces season. It's important for that anyway. I don't know why this is popping up. I don't know if that came up on your screen too, but just wanting me to log into my VPN. I'm already there. So I am scatterbrained tonight. It's definitely because, first of all, my sleep has not been the greatest for about 2 weeks. All twisted and turned around. Secondly, it's late. Thirdly, we have a huge magnetic storm in Earth's atmosphere in our bodies right now, and it's going to amp up for Monday. And you'll also notice, because of all of this chaos that humanity's in, the storms and the weather patterns are super bizarro. Part of that being energy, right? Chaos. Part of that being shifts in the magnetic poles, which is also kind of chaos and a cycle that we go through. Part of that being geoengineering, that is very real. And I would suggest anybody that is a naysayer on that to use a search engine other than Google and look up what geoengineering is and allow them to portray it as a good thing when in all actuality, it's a horrible idea to play God with nature and fuck with nature that bad by spraying nanoparticles, heavy metals in our atmosphere. And I almost believe they're doing this with the knowing that we're in a solar cycle that's putting off huge geomagnetic storms that are coming to our atmosphere. And think about what happens when we're full of heavy metals and this radiation and these storms from the sun are hitting us. It's friggin' cray. Anyway, let's clear our energy and do a card from Cryon. You may have noticed too, like super dry lips, super dry skin rashes that come and go. Again, the ascension integration symptoms are ongoing, but they shift and change, right? So pay attention to that. And as always, pay attention to your own inner divine, your own body. Your body is very intelligent. God created us by no accident. Everything within us is for great purpose. And definitely do not, if you have fallen for the deception, it's never too late for you to wake up. Don't keep falling for the deception that will continue to amp up. And these having major toxic things in them, I would highly suggest trying to find a way, if you've accepted that, if you fell for that, to do a complete detox of your body. So back to that. If these are full of the graphene oxide, like I've read, and the solar flares are putting off huge radiation, do you think their timing over the past couple of years was coincidence? I don't really think it has been. All right, so take a deep breath. Let's clear our energy. I know that was a little bit heavy, but it's what I felt guided to share. Remember that you are divine. Remember that feelings, emotions, being here at this time, in this now is important. And I know that I don't always feel that way, but you're here for a divine purpose. So please take good care of yourself. We're going to do a Cryon Oracle. this, I'm not sure. March is going to be, wow. So we really need to keep building our awareness of how powerful we are and to not be fooled or deceived by others. Really needing to walk into our own authenticity and our own sovereignty and to not allow any outside force to impede on that. The carbon footprint that they want to eliminate is you. Do you realize that? I know that it sounds outlandish to some that may not be awake, but if you understand narcissism, you'll understand that, wow, the game that's been being played and has amped up for the past couple of years is, you got to think like a psychopath to understand why in the world would this be happening, right? So what is the energy, the energetic master Cryon? What would be the best message for us right now to reflect on, to understand, to utilize for guidance through these trying times, and to find the beauty in? Claim your power. Don't be a doormat. Step into your power by knowing who you are. Oh my God. Like, I don't mean to parrot myself on my channel. We have to know who we are. We have to know that we're from source, from God creator, that we are sparks of that, because there's people on the planet that hate that, right? They're evil. And I don't believe in the theory of the devil makes anybody do shit. I believe it's free will choice because we are human beings living in this experience as divine. And like I've said, and I am parroting, we have to know who we are and claim our power now, because if you do not, you are going to be led to slaughter, because there's control freaks. They have chosen with their free will to try to manipulate and to dominate over top of you, over top of humanity. So claim your power. Sensing the soul is an attribute that has been restricted to the shamans of the past, and now it is yours. I want you to feel the oneness of all humanity. Don't look at what they do, but who they are. Hiding in this card is a call of action of realization. What has happened in the past does not then control you. What will happen in your future? The energy since 2012 is different from anything you have ever experienced before. And the ability to sense your Akashic record, your own shamanism, your own wisdom, is now starting to occur. In the process of this awakening, some are even beginning to feel the oneness of humanity. Oh, yes. The truth from Cryon is that we all know each other. The last sentence in this phrase from Cryon gives instructions not to look at others' actions, but rather to see who they are. We are invited to see God in each person. And the next challenge is to look in the mirror and see the face of God within you. Can you do this on a daily basis? This is the power that we are all being asked to claim. Claim the power of God within yourself. So let me clarify this for some, because I was raised to believe that forgiveness was to continue to take shitty behavior over and over by the same people. That is not what it is to know and see God in others. There are many, like I said, on the planet that have forgotten their divinity, and they're here in this amount of time trying to control, dominate, step on the necks of others, put people in fear for control, for whatever reason, whatever their psychopath minds believe. And for some of those people out there, like Gates, who thinks that his bloodline's better than the rest of us, he talks about it openly of saying that we're overpopulated, and he's the biggest investor in one of these mRNA technology jabs. And I will not call them what they're calling them, because that's not what they are. So back to what forgiveness is, and to be able to see the oneness in humanity is, we have to remember and claim our power back and not accept the behavior by those who have forgotten their divinity. So that is true forgiveness. Forgiveness is for yourself. Forgiveness is not a weakness. Forgiveness is a superpower, but you have to know the truth of what forgiveness is. And I was taught very young that it was acceptance of shitty behavior, and it's not. Everybody needs to draw a line in the sand at some point, right? When you know your value, when you claim your power, you won't be in the same vibration to attracting, whether it be shitty relationships into your life or tolerating behavior like the crazy politics and the WEF crazies that want to control and dominate everybody. You will say no more. No more compliance, no more this, no more acceptance of tracking, tracing, complete surveillance. It's a very, very fine line that humanity's walking right now. So we have to claim our power and know who we are. We have to set our sights on a better vision and a better humanity for the collective, for our children, for this planet, and for all the beautiful animals that reside here. So that is our message. This was very random. Again, I don't replace any medical help. If you're feeling off, if you're experiencing any of the bodily symptoms, very well could be from all the solar activity and integration that humanity is definitely underway. And it's not going to slow down. It's only going to amp up. So keep hydrating, keep taking good care of yourself. Much love to you. Until the next time, shalom, shalom.